Hi everyone, my name is Christina Boyd, and for our research paper and this presentation, I decided to focus on digital game-based learning, and my focus is on elementary education because I am a fifth grade science teacher. So throughout this presentation, I'm going to be referring to Blooket a lot because that is the game that I typically use within my own classroom, and I truly believe that even up at the top it says leveling up learning. Games truly level up students' learning. So I'm going to move on to my thesis statement. So it starts out by saying that students are truly engaged when it comes to games. As soon as I tell my students that they are playing a Blooket, their Chromebooks come out right away. They are ready. They're waiting for that game code so they can start playing. They don't really realize that it isn't like an assessment, but it is. Since playing these Blooket games in the digital game-based learning, their comprehension has improved so much, not completely, but it has gotten so much better. I really enjoy the aspect that I can have authentic assessments as well because I'm able to create them. I know my curriculum, I know my standards, and I want to make sure I'm choosing good games that are going to be beneficial for them. That is one thing, though, when it comes to digital game based learning. As a teacher, you need to make sure you know your curriculum and that you also play these games before assigning them because sometimes it just isn't a good fit to what you're trying to teach. And then on the last part, it talks about feedback rich nature of games. I'm going to get into that in a few minutes. So we're going to move on to the why. It grabs students' attention. As soon as I say, we're playing Blooket, they are motivated, they are ready, they're just focused on the game. Nothing else really matters. They're not paying attention to the clock of when it's class time is over. Also, with games, you're able to support all learning styles. Every kid loves to play games. So, all learning styles are kind of going to be able to be met when you play these games. You're also able to have differentiated instruction within the games. So, providing feedback. As an educator, I can get feedback right away and look it right at the end to see how my kids did, what their score was out of, how many questions they got wrong. And then for the kids, they're automatically seeing which questions they are getting wrong. And at the bottom, they are able to see the correct answer. So hopefully they're reading that answer. And then for the next time, if they get it again, they'll be able to choose the right answer. So I've seen a lot of kind of improvement with just kind of understanding. Also, it works or focuses on collaboration. So sometimes they could even work together when playing these games. Social emotional learning is actually even involved in game based learning because you could find social emotional games, but kids get to learn that they're not always going to win. So they should be happy for others. And that's also kind of incorporated in digital game based learning. And then it's not, so for Blooket at least, I love the fact that any subject area can use a Blooket or create a Blooket. And it's just really nice. Certain game based learning spots don't really. Some are just for math, some are just for social studies, and so forth. Then we're going to talk about cognitive and literacy development. So, in digital games, you can actually implement and type in the questions that you want, and you can make sure that they have higher order thinking and decision making within them, which is really nice. New media, you could even use multimodal writing. So for some of the games that you decide to choose, you're able to have your students write in their answer so it's not just multiple choice, which is super nice and engaging for your students. All right, so authentic assessments. So when kids are playing Blooket, they don't even realize that they are taking an assessment. It's invisible to them. They don't realize. They think it's just a game. So most of the time when you say there's a quiz, you get, oh no. When you say Blooket, yeah, you hear yeses, like look silently. And it's fun for them. Again, you get feedback looped right away to yourself and also the kids. Another one, at least for science, for simulations, I really like PhET. PhET is a great game based learning platform that allows students to see certain visuals that I wouldn't be able to show them with my drawing ability. So for the water cycle, students can act as water droplets and start off in a body of water. When the sun comes out, they're lifted up into the air, into the sky, and then they could become clouds, and they see kind of the process of condensation, and then those droplets would obviously get colder and colder up in the sky, and then they come down back down as precipitation. I couldn't physically show them that. Obviously, I could draw pictures, but my pictures are not great, so the simulations are really nice, especially for even space. It also allows for imagination and creativity. Students can explore, they can find alternative features, they're able to be innovative, and problem solving skills are like huge. They even have to think critically for some games. Students also are given a voice. For Blooket, for example, there is multiple different game options in Blooket, so I love kind of letting some of my kids choose the different games that we're going to play, and it feels like they have control over what they're doing in class. It also encourages them to kind of have that meaningful participation. So some major findings are that game-based learning have clear learning goals. Some people don't think games are effective or beneficial, but they really are. It allows for communication, collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, which I've already talked about. So in conclusion, digital game-based learning isn't just play. It is purposeful. As an educator, you are planning it out. You are picking certain games for those classes. It also benefits students because they are engaged. Digital game design thinking is integrated into curriculum development as well. So those people that are making the games, they have kind of what most of us are going for curriculum development. So here is a list of some digital game-based learning examples that as a class we kind of came up with in our module. So this first one is ABC, yeah, which is great kind of for grades K through 8. Archie Learning, Blooket is one of my favorites, and so is for the kids. Bottle, Brainscape, Duolingo, which a lot of kids in my 5th grade are playing right now. First in Math, Gimkit, Hoopla, iReady Game. So iReady we're using in my school as well, and that's more for math. Kahoot is a big one. We play that after every Generation Genius video. Legends of Learning I found this year, and it is for science and math, and I really enjoy it. Minecraft, but having it be the educational one, so I could get out lessons in there. Nearpod, Phet, Prodigy, those are amazing ones to use, especially in science. Quizlet and Quizzes, again, those are 2 great ones, and even Splash Learn. So, thank you. We're going to talk about my references. I have a whole list of references of citations that I found. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys use digital game-based learning in your own classrooms.